So it sounds like Mariupol is either going to fall tonight or they're going to be victorious. They said that this is the last battle. The last battle for Mariupol is going to happen. I thought Mariupol was going to fall immediately because of how Scott Ritter was acting. The tanks are just, going to be pouring out of Crimea, and then Mariupol is going to drop. So the fact that Mariupol has actually lasted this long, I almost want to ask the people of Mariupol, we should have asked them something, a referendum or something. But I would like to ask them, since they're all gone and they've, evacuated and it's totally leveled, what's the harm in, dropping a little boy or a fat man right on top of that motherfucker? Just drop a little boy or a fat man, right? What do they call that? It's not hydrogen. Is it hydrogen? I'm not for sure. But Deputy Mayor Serhiy Orlov told the BBC that battles for Mariupol continue. I'm going to go ahead and just read a couple of these articles so we get a general sense of what the hell is going on. Ukrainian forces are holding out against Russia and the southern port city of Mariupol, officials said. Despite some reports suggesting the battle was nearing its end, the information about the Marines is fake. I don't comment on fakes. He also denied reports about a Marine brigade which posted to Facebook about running out of ammunition and facing the last battle. Oh shit, okay. I mean, first you hear one thing, then you hear the other thing. So they are really testing our common sense and logic and judgment. The Russians temporarily occupy part of the city. Ukrainian soldiers continue defending the central and southern parts of the city as well as industrial areas and so on, Mr. Orlov said in a Facebook post. Ukrainian Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief Valery Zaluzhnyi said the military still had stable open lines of communication with its soldiers inside the city. This is BBC. The military is doing the possible and impossible to save lives and fight against Russian forces, he wrote. Mariupol lies between the pro-Russian breakaway regions of Donetsk and Luhansk in the east and annexed Crimea in the south. The city has become a major goal of the Russian offensive. Western officials are warning that this is an incredibly important window for vital support to Ukraine as Russia prepares to double or triple the number of its troops it has in the country's eastern Donbass region. In briefings, so 20,000 people being killed in Mariupol. Apparently it's not the last battle. I mean, maybe that was just propaganda. Or maybe, you know what? It feels like it might be the last fucking battle. Is this goddamn Ukraine's Dunkirk? Is this Ukraine's Dunkirk moment? When I listen to Zelensky speak, it sounds like he's trying to weaponize the English language. I think it's a good idea. We should weaponize the English language. Fuck, cunt, piss, shit, motherfucker, cocksucker, tits. Isn't that what Dunkirk taught us, to weaponize the English language? Here's some Winston Churchill from World War II, one of the sacred holy wars of America. I mean, I could understand if you were on the wrong side of the U.S. Revolution. Simon Girty was a badass, but that's constitutionalism, that's freedom, that's, Bill of Rights and a whole bunch of shit. But I can't forgive you if you're on the wrong side of World War II or the goddamn Civil War, you fucking degenerate, low-life fuck. You anti-American piece of shit. In this crisis, I think I may be pardoned if I do not address the House at any length today, and I hope that any of my friends and colleagues or former colleagues who are affected by the political reconstruction will make all allowances for any lack of ceremony with which it has been necessary to act. I say to the House, as I said to the ministers who have joined this government, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Well, I fucking fumbled that, huh? I've got nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind. We have before us many, many months of struggle and suffering. You ask, what is our policy? I say it's to wage war by land, sea, and air. War with all our might and with all our strength God has given us, and to wage war against a monstrous tyranny. Against a monstrous tyranny, a totalitarian 23 terrorist regime never surpassed in the dark and lamentable catalog of human crime. That's our policy. So you ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word. It is victory. Victory at all cost. Victory in spite of all terrors. Victory, however long and hard the road may be, for without victory there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the British Empire. No survival for all that the British Empire stood for. No survival for the urge, the impulse of the ages that mankind shall move forward towards his goal. I take up my task in buoyancy and hope. I feel sure that our cause will not be suffered to fail among men. I feel entitled at this juncture, at this time, to claim the aid of all and to say, come then, let us go forward together with our united strength. So let's, KCCI.com. The mayor of Ukrainian port city of Mariupol said Monday that more than 10,000 civilians have died in the Russian siege city of his city, and that the death toll could surpass 20,000. It's over 20,000. He said tens of thousands, with corpses that were carpeting the streets. Not carpet bombing, but corpses. Hey, what kind of carpet do you want on this? The streets of Mariupol? How about a bunch of dead bodies? How about 20,000 dead bodies? 20,000 dead bodies. God damn, how many people have died through America's wars? Let's see, America's wars body count. Because I feel like death toll from America, 75,000 is how many people died in Vietnam. 75,000 is how many Americans died. And so far you have 40,000. So you've almost had as many people, as many Americans that have died in Vietnam. I'll check this out in a second. Let's see. American Revolution, 217. Oh, battle deaths, total service members. What are we talking about here? Now, we're going to find this out. We're going for it. Find Statistica. Allow all your damn cookies. No, we're going to deny your fucking notifications. Number of military fatalities in all major wars involving the U.S. from 1775 to 2022. The Gulf War was probably our best war. Only 258 died. 258 died, don't get me wrong. But more people have died in the Ukraine-Russo War 2022 than in the Gulf War and the Spanish-American War and the War on Terror. I guess Americans maybe? I don't know what the War on Terror. But let's put that to the side for a second. 40,000 is how many people have died so far in the U.S., or the Ukraine, maybe U.S., Russia war. So that is less than the Korean War. 36,000 people died in the Korean War. The American Revolutionary War, 25,000. The War of 1812, 20,000. Mostly Kentuckians. 13,000 died in the Mexican-American War. 7,000 died, well, in the War on Terror, and 46 died in the Spanish-American War, and 258 died in the Gulf War. So goddamn, the Gulf War, we hardly lost anybody in the Gulf War, but 258 lives, 258 souls, dead and gone for good. So what does that mean? That means if you were to put, let's see here, if you were to put the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, Spanish-American War, and the Gulf War, you put all those deaths together, it still does not equal the amount of deaths that we have witnessed in Russia and Ukraine. So let's keep on going with the article, readings, right? Mobile crematoriums have arrived in the form of trucks. You open it and there's a pipe inside and these bodies are burned. Russian forces have taken many bodies to a huge shopping center where there's storage facilities and refrigerators. They're trying to conceal the carnage. If they can't get rid of the carnage, then they try to conceal the carnage. The mayor's comments emerged as Russia claimed that it destroyed several Ukrainian air defense systems in what appeared to be a renewed push to gain air superiority and take out weapons Kyiv has described as crucial ahead of an expected broad new offensive in the east. One strike, Moscow said it hit 4 S-300 launchers near the central city of Dnipro that had been provided by a European country it did not name. Slovakia gave Ukraine just such a system last week, but denied it had been destroyed. Russia previously reported 2 strikes on similar systems in other places. The failure to win full control of Ukraine's skies has hampered Moscow's ability to provide air cover for troops on the ground. And In Mariupol, there's still 120,000 civilians that are still there that are in need of food, water, warmth, communications. The mayor said This is true for Kherson. It's true for all the occupied territories, 50 to 100 different cities, especially the Donbass region. And the way that these motherfuckers are acting, we need to take Crimea back too, and we need to take Georgia back. We need to take the Abkhazia and the South Ossetia or whatever. They didn't do a referendum there, right? They did a referendum for Crimea because they're all fucking Russians anyways, but they didn't do a goddamn referendum in the Georgia nor for Ukraine. There was no fucking referendum. They don't respect the people of Ukraine. Only 45 million motherfucking people in Ukraine. That'd be like goddamn America invading California. Only it's worse because there's more people in Ukraine than there is in California. So, one more quote here from Winston Churchill. So, the beaches, we shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds. Speech, I'm just going to read the whole paragraph here. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government, every man of them. That is the will of Parliament and the nation. The British Empire and the French Republic linked together in their cause and in their need will defend to the death their native soil, aiding each other like good comrades to the utmost of their strength, even though large tracts of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo and the odious apparatus of Nazi rule. We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. And even if, which I do not for a moment believe, this island or a large part of it were subjugated and starving, then our empire beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the British fleet, would carry on the struggle until, in God's good time, the New World, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old. The New World. The New World. So you talking about us? Is that you talking shit about America there, Churchill?